Excavation is complete on John and Michelle's pool, and any apprehension Michelle may have had on dig day is gone now, as she explains on home video.
The pool definitely looks bigger now that it's been all dug out. I was a little concerned when they spray painted the blue paint and how small it looked, but now that it's dug out, it makes a huge difference.
For now, work is shifted to the basketball court, where a retaining wall is needed to hold back the slope. The crew builds 2 long walls out of aluminum panels. They're actually just forms for the real wall to be made of poured concrete. After the concrete is hardened, the panels are removed to reveal the end result, the look of a brick wall made out of solid concrete. And that's just a nice way to spice up the concrete wall. It's a good design element, and this is a cost-effective wall.
Well, it's a third of the price of the common stacked stone wall, but it gives you somewhat of a nice look compared to just a flat concrete wall.
Really, the only people that are going to see this wall are the people that are down here on the court playing basketball. You guys are going to do a stacked stone wall, but that's topside by the pool where everybody's going to see it. The wall is backfilled and leveled for the cabana and outdoor kitchen. But before it can be built, the site has to pass inspection, and that's proving to be easier said than done.
These are the holes that are supposed to be for the gazebo going up, and they failed inspection twice. They have to widen them a little bit, and then they have to take out some of the roots that are inside of them. There's actually 6 of them, and I think 1 actually has passed, and the other 5 have not.
Until approval is granted, there are other projects that the carpentry crew can hammer out. A new set of deck stairs that offer the family a more direct route to all the backyard fun, and a set of bleacher-type stadium steps that lead down to the basketball court.
So Luke, what's your plan here on how these bleachers are going to work?
Well, you have like a cross member right here, and all these are mortised in.
Okay.
And then your top posts hold a 2x10, and then there's 2 2x10s here for your footrest, and that's going to be your seat. And then you're going to put a brace right here to brace it all together, and there'll be 5 of these trusses set out through here.
So what supports the seat on top?
There's going to be 2 befores on either side of it running down here.
Okay. And how strong will it be? When the kids come down, you know they're not going to step here. They're going to step on the seat.
This is going to be very strong.
Strong.
This is going to be very strong.
As work hits the 2-month mark, rock work is well underway at the raised pool wall. Stonework, by its very nature, is a time-consuming process. But this stone job took a while just to get started.
We traveled around the state for about 2 to 3 weeks looking for just the right stone, because we wanted a natural face, but we also wanted a semi-smooth face, and finding those 2 was rather difficult in the right thickness. But we did find a great stone yard that imported this in for us and got it here, and it looks fantastic, doesn't it? The process that we're using right here is a dry stack on this stone, and the goal is not to see any mortar in between that stone. So we take these large pieces and we'll chip them down and pretty much put them together like a puzzle so they fit together nice and tight. The tighter the better. That's really what makes the wall look nice and smooth, and it also makes it just blend into the landscape and not stick out so much.
The same process is followed for the pool coping a week later. To get nice, rounded edges at the lip of the pool, a rubber hose is used as a contour gauge. It's bent to match the curve. Then that curve is transferred to stone. Want more landscaping tricks? Head to hgtv.com/groundbreakers for tips you can use on your next project. What's some good advice for a homeowner when they're going to pick out stone?
Know the color range that you're looking to achieve, because you can't pick one stone off of a palette and think that it all looks like that.
Because it's natural stone.
Absolutely. And every natural stone has a range of color. And it's our job to take the stone off the palette and mix those colors in together so that we have a consistent range.
When we come back, cutting your water bill without killing your landscape. The investment that pays for itself sooner than you think. This is capturing free water.
That is correct.
And later, Michelle's making changes as the project nears the finish line.
Yeah, I think we need to knock those stairs down.
Crews are creating a new backyard play space for dual families. John and Michelle and their 5 kids, along with John's brother and his family, who live right next door. It's been smooth sailing for 6 weeks, but wet weather has turned the yard into a mud pit. Today, the stone crew uses that rainwater to mix their mortar and keep working. Long term, John and Michelle have a way to recycle rainwater as well. Water conservation is really important whether you live in a drought-prone area or not. Eric's putting in a water cistern for John and Michelle. Tell me a little bit about this cistern.
Well, this is a 1,000-gallon cistern tank based on the roof size, 25 to 3,000 square foot. This will approximately put out, based on a 1 inch of rain, 1,200 gallons.
The gutters and downspouts will fill the cistern with rainwater, which will then be used to irrigate the new landscape. Because if John and Michelle didn't have this, when they water their yard, that's going to come off of their main, so that'll be reflected on their water bill. This is capturing free water.
That is correct. I would probably say that less than 5 years will be the payback on this type setup with a cistern system.
Then the next big phase of the job begins as a load of lumber arrives on site. John and Michelle want an open-air pavilion for grilling. Local building codes have forced them to redesign its size and shape, and even dictated that they call it a cabana. Landscape designer Shane LeBlanc's battle with City Hall has paid off as it finally gets off the ground.
The homeowner wanted an open-air cabana, which is kind of popular now. So what we had to do is get this changed. So this is actually the first one in the county. We got it changed. We can build more of them. It's just we had to go through a lot of process to get this thing built.
Plants are going in this morning too. By the end of the day, the crew has taken a huge step in turning this construction site into a lush backyard.
It's awesome. I really have lost track of it at one point, trying to remember what it looked like before we started all this to where it is now. But you can see it sort of taking shape now, so you can sort of see the end result is coming.
But Michelle's found a spot that she worries might have been forgotten.
This is the retaining wall that they put in around the basketball court. And I'm looking at it and it's all just dirt. I'd love to see some landscaping down here. Maybe John's considering putting grass down here. We got to do something to get rid of the mud.
Some of that mud was created by heavy rain runoff, but that problem is dried up now thanks to a rock creek bed snaking through the yard. A dry creek bed is a really cool solution to a drainage problem. What the crew has done here is swelled this out or dug it out so that on a heavy rain, the water travels this direction through the creek bed and away from the hardscapes. Then they put down a plastic liner like this, and this is going to help with maintenance down the road because no weeds are going to pop through here. Then they put in mixed-sized river rocks, and once this is planted, it's going to look really natural like it's always been here. So not only is it completely functional, but it looks great too. For my video tips on creating your own dry creek bed, go to hgtv.com/groundbreakers. 2 days later, fresh sod goes down. But as Michelle walks around and takes in the new yard, she springs a surprise on Shane.
Yeah, I think we need to knock those stairs down.
With these?
These right here.
Oh, and just use this?
Just use that.
Yeah.
It'll open up. I mean, we can, I told John, you know, you can get that ceiling that they put up and we can put another table and it can be used as more space.
Well, and another thing is, people, what they don't think about is, if you stand there, you have no view.
Yeah, exactly.
It blocks the view.
Exactly.
As the old deck steps are coming down, a crew is making the new cabana countertop from scratch. Stone composites and resins are mixed up and poured into a form. Then, rubber stamps are used to press a faux stone texture into the top. The following day, the edges are distressed with the trowel to simulate real rock. The final step is color. Acrylics are worked in by hand, then top coat colors are mixed. This is a totally custom staining process. In fact, the company doesn't even have color chips to look at.
Cool thing is a customer can come up and say, hey, I want to put in brown or I want to put in black, and we could do that. And what it does is creates something that's unique and theirs, and they actually had a part in it, so it actually becomes a creation that they could say, in the long run, I helped create this.
When we come back, the incredible before and after transformation is finally revealed. Get the details on how one plant can actually help take the sting out of summer backyard fun.